to tonight's episode of Group Therapy. We got co-host Mark via
Hello.
Zoom. As we've been screwing with this for the last, 30 minutes trying to get it to work right. So I think we finally got it figured out, Mark. You have to be on your end and not just waiting. All right. And as always, tonight's episode is brought to you by RU Game, the best comic book video game store in all Pickle, Ohio. Located at 124 North Sunset Drive, Pickle, Ohio, 45356. And if you ever come in here on Thursday, you'll see this guy right here on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Hey, ladies, we can give each other a high five a little bit there. They're like,
I don't know. I can't tell what the screen is supposed to be on.
yeah. All right. Well, we were talking about before we started today. We were talking about some little stuff we want to talk about. You said that and there's 3 X-Men books missing out of the next order book.
New Mutants, Excalibur, and
Hellions?
could it be?
I don't know. I like Hellions and I like Marauders. I'm okay on Excalibur, but New Mutants, I just kind of stopped reading after about the 10th issue or something like that.
Yeah, I had trouble getting past the artwork on it. Now you're moving.
Okay, there you go. Alexa, cancel. I don't know. This is the one thing that kind of sucks is our internet's been just horrible lately on this end of town because the shop was running like crap the other day and we lost the internet for 10-15 minutes, which kind of sucks when you're in the middle of working.
I actually had to reset your router Saturday because I also lost the internet. The problem might not be so much the internet, but the router that you have at the store.
Well, the thing is, though, is I'm losing the internet here, and it has nothing to do with the router here. So, I think it's just on this side of town is it's garbage right now because our house is always garbage on the internet. So, but it is what it is.
Oh.
So we got the new previews drops this week, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Previews come in. I don't think you got any toys.
No, I think the only one's got toys coming in is Matty. He's got one of the New Japan figures, it looks like.
Yes, that's coming in. That's not very expensive.
No. Well, what's bad is I was just at Walmart and I know I ordered them. I ordered the Zartan Cobra Trooper mixed cases, and they had the Zartans out at Walmart. So I was like, you know what? Hell with it. I'm just picking them up. If I get extras,
of course they did.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, is Walmart never got Cobra Commander, Red Ninjas, or Gung Ho. And I got them. They just now got Cobra Troopers, which I've had for a few weeks now at the shop. But they got Zartan, which I haven't got yet, which is supposed to ship at the same time as the Cobra Trooper.
Yeah.
So
I have no idea what to tell you. I was looking at the invoice for next week, and there's 3 Star Wars things canceled. 2 of them were for sneezing. SWE5 Black Series, like 202, 002, and 003, something like that.
I ordered a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah, but he ordered it also, and it's on his file, and they said it's canceled. There was I think a Boba Fett helmet.
That was me.
They canceled that.
That sucks.
They said it was a canceled back order. And I'm pretty sure if you ordered it off of the dailies.
Yeah, I ordered it
So they're,
Forever ago.
I don't know. I also saw on the invoice that it made it look like they canceled the incentive variants on Berserker 3, the 25s and the 50s and the 100. And it's like the one line said, minus the amount that I ordered. And then the very next line, it's like the same amount being added, but it said something like not in place. And, I'm going to probably contact them and find out what that means. But I did go online and check, and I still have them on order.
Well, the thing is, though, is it's probably because they were all returnable and everybody just ordered them, getting the variants, and then sending all the returnable shit back.
Yeah. I watched the guy ripping his covers off. He's trying to sell sets of, 6 books for like $25. But he's got that on the right side of the screen. The left side, he's ripping the covers off the books.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I like Berserk. It's a fun book. I mean, I can definitely see that being on a, what is it? We're getting a, the Netflix movie. I know we're getting a Netflix animated series. So
yeah, I went ahead and kept 3 sets of what I've got. Just tuck them away at the store, and if they do anything, they do something.
that's the way it is with me. If they do anything, I'm gonna keep a set. I'll just keep one of each. Just cover A and cover A number 1, cover B. I'll sell all the variants and shit. I don't worry about that.
Yeah. Now Noctera, that's I didn't have to strip the covers on that one. I just reported what I got left. And then if Diamond decides, well, we want to see the books, then I think they'll send me a return label, and I got to ship them in. But they're on this month's affidavit. The stuff from last month, which I didn't have a lot, but I had some. They haven't asked for, so that's just stuff I'm supposed to destroy. Yeah.
Destroy.
Yes.
Go wait up. The dog decides to visit. Go.
Hey, dog, what's up? If you get her to bark, I think I can get a response.
No, her bark is like nails on a chalkboard to me, especially down here in the studio, as I like to call it. It echoes.
I got my dog lying on the floor right next to me here, but she's not paying attention to what we're doing.
No, I'm surprised because usually my cat is like over here, or she's up in here.
Your cat, when we first started, was back on a video game, cleaning itself. Yeah, right over your right shoulder there.
Yeah, they love these for some reason, and I've seen people take pictures, and their cats love these things. I love the one is the Star Wars one. There is no thing because it's the steering wheel type thing, and the cat tried to lay on it one time and fell off because it's literally only like this wide.
Yeah.
You're like, it's like one of these things. So the cat was trying to sit here. I'm like, what are you doing, cat? I've heard, people go, oh, it's because they're, that's why cats lay on electronics because they're warm. And it's, because if you set your laptop there, the cat will lay on it. The printer, which is right here, if the printer's sitting on the table over here, the cat will lay on it. We have the big printer right there for Tina's doing photography, and there's an old PS3 up there. The cat will lay on it. The cat will lay on electronics. So I don't know what it is.
I don't have that issue. I got more cats than you.
I got too many. And I love my cat. My cat's stupid. It's around here somewhere.
No, I've got too many.
Yeah, but how many you got in house?
Currently, most of them.
Oh yeah, because you just got them back from the vet.
He put out one of those fence things for the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got it running all the way back to the tree line. to keep the cats from going into Pickering's yard. That's Pickering in Troy, Ohio. They're a bunch of assholes. Yeah, if you know Pickering, tell them they're an asshole.
You know what slander is, right?
These people actually went to one of our neighbors. Her name is Millie. And they actually told her that they have a 20-foot easement onto her property that they can, go on anytime they want.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Dude, 20-foot it'd be easement. If the neighbors over here had it, it would be the
that's
neighbor.
pretty much your backyard.
Yeah, that'd be the neighbor's house. If for me.
Yeah, but I think it's literally her backyard because she's at the very end of the thing before the oil change place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they came to me and said, "Oh, we have a 20-foot easement onto your property," I was like, "What the hell you do?"
I'd be like, I need to talk to. I'd go talk to Nick on that one. So shit. Yeah, I was gonna go. I had every intention of taking my car and getting it washed today, and then I kept looking up the sky, and the sky kept getting darker and looked like it was gonna rain, and then it never rained. So I never washed my car.
I hit the car wash after the gym.
I went to Walmart, and then went home and did laundry.
I went to Kroger's first, but yeah, I still had time to get to the car wash before they closed. Yeah, I've got that monthly membership. Hell, I've been getting the car washed once or twice a week lately. It just collects dust.
Oh yeah, dude, my car's covered with dust right now.
Yeah,
and covered with dust and bird shit.
There's that. Birds really love black vehicles.
It ain't black, it's red.
Yeah, my car's black, and they're pretty good.
Oh yeah, because it just sticks out really bad on that. So I had a gray car forever, and you never saw bird shit because it just blended in. So, oh man,
Yeah.
We were talking about this at the gym about what Marvel's going to do here shortly because what's one of their best books right now is Immortal Hulk, and Immortal Hulk's only got what three more issues?
3 or 4. I think maybe 4. 156 the last issue.
Maybe. Is I 46? So and then they just did the wrong box. They just did the one shot. So
Right.
the old Hulk that you find out that the Green Door's been around for a very, very long period of time. So no, I literally Immortal Hulk is probably maybe my favorite book coming out right now.
Yeah, it's something I read every week as soon as we get it at the shop.
Yeah, dude. I as soon as it drops, because it's that and Power Rangers. Ironically enough, is I love the new Power Rangers book. I read that every first 2 books I think I read is when those come out.
I've been getting those, even though I didn't get most of the last run.
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and started getting the current runs. Yeah, I haven't read any.
You're just a collector that just collects books to have the books. I collect the books and then read the books.
Okay. Here we go. See this? I haven't read it. See that? Actually, I did read that one.
That's a man thing. You better read that.
Oh, yeah. I think I read this. I read the Spider-Man. I got to read the X-Men when it comes. Or unless it's already here.
It's over in the stack over there.
Yeah, I've got a couple boxes of releases I haven't gone through yet. I do read Amazing Spider-Man. That's just a variant I get for the hell of it. I actually haven't read this.
That is really good. That is stupid good.
Yeah. Just yeah. More of yeah. The only reason I got these sitting here is because the comic program doesn't have.
Well, I got these because it's stuff I got to tape off because I got them bagged and boarded. But Ultra Mega, I read that. Power Rangers.
I got the first issue on Ultra Mega.
Holy shit! This is all stuff I have to read. It was Spectre Inspectors, Alien, Girls of Dimension 13, which really is first issue. So, but Ultra Mega is great. The new Power Rangers is great, and then Radiant Black. Radiant Black is really good. It's crazy because right now I've always been a Marvel guy. Mostly Marvel. I was always an X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy, stuff like that, going way, way back, except for their horror stuff. So like Werewolf by Night, Dracula, all that stuff. Now I'm reading all these like the oddball, I guess not oddball, but the horror stuff, like from Boom and Image and a Black Caravan, which is Scout Comics, which is that one I don't get. I don't know why I got a Scout Comics reprint from Lunar in my DC books.
Evidently, Lunar's got a contract to distribute Scout Comics, in addition to Diamond distributing Scout Comics. But I don't think Lunar is getting those books at the same time as Diamond. I think Diamond's getting them first.
I don't know. There's stuff from Scout that I really like. So see, this is one thing I'm wondering how this is all going to work, because right now with Lunar, we're getting our DC books almost a full week in advance. Well,
right.
Like 6 days? We get our Diamond order on
5 to 6 days. Sometimes they show up on a Wednesday, sometimes a Thursday, and there's been times it shows up on a Monday or Tuesday.
So it actually comes in with the books it's supposed to be with.
Yeah.
But we got
it comes in the Monday or the Tuesday before, like a full week.
Yeah.
In advance.
Yeah, because literally we got what? Next day, because we got our Diamond books on Tuesday, and then we're there Wednesday. We separated them out, put them away on Thursday.
Yeah.
See, a lot of stores are just going ahead and putting their stuff out for regular customers.
Yeah, and I could do that, but I'm honoring the street date.
Oh yeah, I the only person who gets the Lunar books is me. I own the store, so I'm not the regular person. So.
I know there's stores in Dayton. They get the Lunar books and they go ahead and put them out. And they can do that, I guess. Lunar doesn't have anything set up to penalize anybody, for doing that. They just ask people to. I see the cat.
But yeah, well, I wonder what's going to happen with because when do we start going through Penguin for Marvel?
It'll be October 1st. I got to get with Fred and we've got all summer to do this. Get an account set up with Penguin. Hopefully, they will automatically do the billing to the credit card, and I don't have to sit there every week and manually do it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this means we're gonna get 3 different shipments from 3 different companies at probably 3 different times.
Yeah.
And it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just glad it's not in July when I'm going to be taking care of books.
True.
I don't want to have to dick with that even for one day. But
maybe Penguin will send them out similar to Lunar. You never know.
It'd be nice.
But I think Penguin's going to have a real fun time because they're going to get a lot of business all of a sudden. I hope they're set up for this.
Well, Lunar is, you'll go a couple weeks where, everything is good, spot on. And then next thing you know, you'll get a couple weeks where, we just opened that box, a couple weeks ago with the Jokers. Like,
It was about a month and a half ago. at
About a
this
month
point.
and a half. Yeah. You'd go through and you would, stacks this thick, and you'd have these books would be fine. These books here would be damaged. These books would be fine, and the ones on the bottom would be damaged. Then you have the other stack, and it's the same way. So it wasn't that they were damaged, in transit. Them had to been damaged and then stuck in the box from the distributor.
Not only that, but the way Lunar packs the boxes, there's no way they got damaged in transit.
No, they packed the shit out of them things.
They got them double boxed with bubble wrap all the way around the box, except for the bottom. And, to damage the books on the side, you have to, completely destroy the outer box to get to the inner box.
Yeah, and then on top of it, how can you have the books on top and the books on bottom, and the books in between? The books in between are crushed, but the ones on top and bottom are fine.
But yeah, by and large, Lunar has done a very good job at sending the books out. That shipment was like the fluke shipment. Most shipments I get haven't had that much of an issue.
This week, though, we were short, though.
Yeah, don't know what happened there, but
did you get a hold of them?
Well, you report the shortages online. You don't have to you can't actually call Lunar. That's the only thing I don't like. You can't call them. It's email, or you use their website to report your damages.
See, that's one thing I usually do that. I like when I'm doing your books, I've literally had Diamond on the phone almost the entire time I was doing books, because you're waiting on them to take, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, so far I've got.
Okay. Diamond also has their own online reporting tool.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll need to either have a laptop or a tablet with you.
Okay, I'll grab a tablet from here. I'll see if I grab.
Yeah, and we'll get it programmed with the website info. But when you're done checking in the books, and if you have damages, you just go to their website. There's a link right at the top of the page. You go to that, and you just, fill in the blanks on the little thing. Tell them how many numbers were damaged, or they've also got it set up. It's printer, distributor, and something else as far as shipper.
Okay.
Yeah, they want to know, what you think was the cause for this damage.
You, Diamond.
Yes. But that's made it a lot easier on reporting to Diamond. I don't end up emailing or talking to anybody there either.
What's funny is that remember, God, how many was it? Like 25 years ago, when we were at the summit, they were showing Diamond was trying to show how good things were there. And they had the video of them people just grabbing the books and throwing them in boxes.
Yeah,
and all the customers like, oh, you can't do that.
Oh, that's bad.
You know what? I've tried to find. I was hoping that somebody had a copy of that and put it on YouTube somewhere, and I've never been able to find it. I will find a copy of that video.
I remember that. That was that Fort Wayne?
It was either, I think it was Fort Wayne, or it might have been when we went to Georgia. We went to Atlanta.
Could have been. Oh,
there's your dog on the bed.
She has moved. But I got my let me see her. You can see her backside.
Yeah, mine's
she's got her head out of the way.
Mine's sleeping like right over here. That's not mine. That's Tina's dog. That dog is sleeping right over there.
The sooner you accept the fact that dog's in your house, the happier you'll be.
I'm a dog guy. I love my dogs, and that one drives me nuts. I miss my dog. I was my dog's seeing eye person.
Yeah.
Because he was blind as a bat.
Well, this is the time of night my dog comes into my room and I close the door, and it will be in here until whenever I leave in the morning.
Well, she goes up. Sometimes she goes up with Tina. Sometimes she goes up with me. But she sleeps on Tina's side of the bed until I get up in the morning and I let her out. she used to sleep down here in her cage, and she just nope. But the worst part, this is what's funny. I will bring her down in the morning, and she goes right in her cage, and that's where she stays until I get done, because I get myself up, I get dressed, all that stuff. I get my breakfast, I get Vince up, I get him ready, and then I come down. Then she wants out of her cage. She only wants to be in her cage first thing in the morning, which is weird. So or she's in trouble, and then she hides in there.
I get up and I let her out of the room, and the first thing she does is try to find Yanni. Yanni's been home a lot since the pandemic started. So then I get her to the back door and I let her out. But she, most dogs, once they get to a more comfortable setting, they'll sleep through the night.
Yeah, this dog does pretty good sleeping through the night. Although, though, I've been laying there and she'll come over and check on me. Like if I'm tossing and turning, I'll roll over and I'll be laying there and I'll have my head up and I'll like open my eyes and there's a dog right here. And like
that's her looking at you. It's like, you got any food?
Like, go to sleep. I'm tired, dog. Yeah. Oh man. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Sitting there, I've been catching up on my comics the other day. Friday night, I'm just sitting there. I started reading, and I'm like, because I get a stack like that thick every week. I don't know how many books that is. And then I'll read like 4 or 5 books a night, and then all of a sudden Friday night, I just sat there and I just start reading one.
This is my weekly.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have to pay for books, Mark.
Anyway.
Well, it's like people ask me, they're like, why do you buy so many books, man? I'm like, because if I actually had to, if this came out of my pocket and I had to pay full price, no. I was like, don't get me wrong, my books technically come out of my pocket, but I get the discount, which I would never buy the amount of books that I buy now.
You get the discount that very few online companies give, minus the shipping charges.
Yep.
And they get delivered at the cost of a Mountain Dew and a thing of Oreos every week.
Say Oreos are a snack cake or something.
And I walk in there and I see something on the counter. I grab one and I go get me a pop. Then I sit down.
Oh, I got you guys Dr. Pepper Zero.
You've got more than one 6-pack?
What? Oh, Dr. Pepper Zero? No,
Yeah,
that's just for a couple days. I don't buy stuff for the weekend until Thursday, because usually that means my fridge, because somebody needs to clean their trash out of my refrigerator, Mark, because there's a pizza and Taco Bell package in there.
Yeah, you can toss those.
Yeah, you can toss them. You can take them home with you.
You want 2-week-old Taco Bell?
It's only a week and a half.
By the time I take it home,
it'll be 2 weeks.
Well, she raised her head. She's thinking about it.
No, I that's one thing I hate is where we're at up there. I have to bring my trash and dump it off at the house outside the shop. And I do that on Wednesday. I pack up everything and I throw it in the back of the Magnum and bring them here.
Well, when I had the shop, I had to do the same thing. I didn't have trash pickup.
Well, I had trash pickup at when we were on Edge Street. When I was downtown, I didn't have trash pickup, but you're supposed to. You're paying for it, but they didn't have trash pickup, even though you got charged for it at that time. Now I don't get charged for it, so I just drop it off here. So it's not bad. I just shoot through the alley and chuck it in our own trash and pull around front. So, but no, we right now comic book wise, this stuff's going stupid.
It is. You know, speculators, every time a new character's, introduced, they're jumping on it like it's, the next hot thing. Doesn't matter what book it is.
No.
Nightwing's getting hot right now because they, brought in a new character. Last couple issues, people have been jumping on.
Well, they just introduced Molly Mayhem or whatever in Batman.
Yeah, I ordered extra on that. I think everybody did.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's an art germ cover too, which doesn't hurt.
No, in fact, that's the only cover I got at the mall. I've got 2 left. I ordered a total of 25 copies of that particular issue, which is about 10 copies more than I normally would.
And the newest issue of Robin, I believe, introduced a new character too, Flatline.
Yeah, and I didn't really bump that up much. But yeah, it just seems every time there's a new character, all of a sudden, that's a $10, $15 book the day it comes out.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It should not be happening that way.
No, because it used to be you got time for that character to actually do something before the price went up.
Right.
And because there's books that were out that had or just like the whole was it White Rabbit in Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and Frogman.
Yeah.
And literally
or something.
Yeah, I had like 4 of them sitting in the back room, and not including the ones I had on the shelf.
That has been out for 20 years now, and it's just
no, I'd say probably closer to 40 years now.
Yeah, you're right.
It came out in the 80s, early 80s.
80s, yeah. Not thinking.
Yeah, because Team Up ended, 86, 87.
Could be, yeah. I'd have to look at my. Well, I actually have my program open. I don't think it just interrupts anything.
No, I don't see it. You're sitting there playing. Well, it's like I remember the only 3 issues of Marvel Team Up that were worth anything were number 1, the first American Captain Britain, and the first Mockingbird, and that was up until what, a year ago?
Mockingbird actually went up 2 to 3 years ago.
Well, I know, but I mean, those were the only ones worth anything until a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Technically speaking, Team Up ended in early 1985.
Yeah. So.
Possibly the end of 84, because the way Marvel and DC do their cover dates.
Yeah, they were like 3 months in advance, if I remember right.
It's a couple months in advance, actually. It's 2. It's marked February of 85, but yeah, who knows? So
February 85 was probably December of 84.
Right.
So yeah, it 38 years ago or 37 years ago, it ended. So this is at least a 35-year-old, or no, shit, that was probably well before that. So you're probably looking at 40, probably a 40-year-old book.
I could see, them taking a character from back then that's not really been used much since and reinvigorating it, and then that creates the whole interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure what they're doing with White Rabbit that made everybody go jump on it.
Oh, I don't know. But it's like well, look at the books that were $1.50 books a year ago. You can't go into a bookstore now. Because I'm not going to lie, I have to check all my prices, but I don't have set prices in my boxes anyways. But every book has to be checked, because for a simple fact is a book on Friday can be a $1 book. On Monday, it could be a $40 book.
Yeah.
That quick.
Had a guy bring me a couple flashes from volume 2. Now, you put it out, the way you bought it, which still had somebody else's price sticker on it there, marked $2.50. And, I know they're $1, and I know there's nothing that made them jump up. So, but yeah, you got to check everything, because we just don't have time to go through daily and repricing books
Yeah,
that
'cause it's
all of a
you,
sudden jump.
you would literally have just one person doing that all day long. Because they'd start, they'd get they could only get about a third of the way through. Then they have to start the next day, and then by the time the hell that one's probably mispriced again already. So you
Right.
have to start all over again. But I'm not saying speculation is one thing, whatever. But I know this is gonna be a jerk thing. I don't understand why movies have anything to do with anything. You're taking a book, especially some of these books that have massive print runs. Like I still to this day can't believe Spawn #1 is worth anything. What was that, like 2 million printed?
Two or three. I forget the print run, but it was massive. Gosh, I was open back then.
Yeah, I know.
I think I ordered like 50 copies, and I was a small store.
Mm-hmm. I remember getting like 15 copies of #1, and that set in my personal collection. And when it hit like $10, like within like the first 6 months when it came out, I hit like $10. What was it? $2 cover price, like $1.95.
Yeah, it was cheap back then.
Yeah, I sold them at a show. I sold like all but like 2 of them, so I could hurry up and flip them and make a bunch of money. Make a bunch of money. I made like $100 off like a $20 investment. So
yeah.
But now shit, you can still get Spawn #1s. Like you can find them everywhere. Yeah. Anytime you buy a collection, you get Spawns. Yeah. And I think I sold the last ones that it was $35 or something like that for #1s, or what at the time.
Well, yeah, you got one on the shelf marked $30 right now, I think.
No, I don't. Not anymore. I don't think. I think I sold all the Spawns a while back.
Yeah. I know you had a guy coming in buying that stuff. So
yeah. Well, I got all that Spawn stuff from Maddie's. I still got to double check on. I know there's like a third of a box that's all Spawn.
Hold them. So. But yeah. Nowadays it's hit or miss what goes. I mean, Invincible. Okay, yeah, there's an Amazon Prime cartoon. Mm-hmm. I heard it was pretty good. I haven't watched it. I'm not really a cartoon guy. But now just about any issue of Invincible is jumped up in value.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it had a low print run.
Yeah. I literally, I didn't catch on to Invincible right away, but I was able to go back and like get the early issues before they went stupid.
Yeah.
And even some of them early issues that when they did go stupid, they came right back down. So I remember I had like 3 issue #2s, and at one time they were like $100 a piece. And I was like, oh, I'll sell. I went through, pulled them out of my personal collection. I was like, I'll sell these. And then by the time I actually went to sell them, they had dropped down to like 20. So now they're creeping back up. So
I remember when Greg had his shop over by Z's. I was ordering his DCs because his Diamond or whatever.
Yeah.
He was ordering comics through Fred.
Yep.
And I was doing the order, but I also I was going through his stuff and just typical dollar stuff at the time. And I picked up Invincible 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I think that's where I got mine too.
And then at some point I went to a show. Kirkman was there, and they got signed. And
was that Baltimore?
It could be. I didn't have it notated where they got signed at.
I remember I was with you at that show, so
yeah,
I got them signed too.
I've got those 3 signed and a bunch of Marvel team-ups signed by Kirkman.
Yeah.
I wasn't collecting Walking Dead at the time.
I was, and I got them. I got the first
excuse me.
I got like the first 20 signed.
Yeah.
Back when people would sign 20 books and not bat an eye at it.
Those were the days.
Those are
Go to
gone.
20, 25 bucks. They sign all of them. You get back in the line and they sign some more.
Well, even back in the day, it was they'd sign a stack of 5, and then they would charge you, or you have to buy something off their table, or you'd have to make a donation to the Hero Initiative, which I had no problem ever doing that. But
yeah, okay. Originally, you didn't have to do anything. You take the book and they sign them. Then they started doing the stuff like, donations for the Hero Net. I think Sidem started this. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know if it was Sidem, but yeah, I know.
I know Sidem at one point put that jar out there, and he would still sign whatever. He just throw some money in the bowl.
Yeah.
And Michael Golden, who's represented by the ugliest bitch ever, Renee.
I don't think she represents him anymore.
Well, that would be a good thing. But they were at that one Dayton show, and I think I had a short box.
Yeah.
Okay. And she said she would sign, he would sign the short box if I bought a print.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're talking a $20 print. I'm like, okay. And he's not even halfway through the box, and she's changing the deal. Says, well, I didn't realize you had that much. Like, I had a short box. I told you that up front. And, she wanted me to buy another print. I don't care about prints. The one I bought from her, I think it ended up in the trash the next day. I'm not an artwork guy.
Yeah. See, me, I'll keep prints and stuff like that. I've got prints from like Greg Horn, and I think I have a Golden Sidem, stuff like that. But my problem is that you have, and no offense against these artists, because some of them, did a lot of good work back in the day. But when you have not one book that is worth anything, you're just like, okay, why would I spend $5 or whatever per autograph? When
I've got a great example for this. Steve Geiger. He did Crystar and a few other things.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a single book he worked on that's worth more than $1. Yet this guy's been, prior to the pandemic, was doing shows, charging $5 a pop for his autograph.
Yeah.
It's silly. We'll get back to Sidem because he's my biggest annoyance on this. He started off with taking the donations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he moved on to actually charging a small amount.
Yeah.
And then if you remember one year that we went to Pittsburgh and I had Sean with me,
mm-hmm.
He's charging $20.
Yep.
And I sent Sean over with just one book, and my son was what, 10 at the time?
Maybe, yeah.
He wouldn't even sign it for a kid.
So, well, because he knew you sent it over, Mark.
Well.
My favorite person though is Brian Polito, Lady Death. The fact that he's still got that picture. He had that picture on his website the last time I checked. Still,
I still got the picture.
He signed an entire long box full of books.
Wasn't a long box, was it?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a long box full of books.
Pretty high stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian's cool.
He no longer does that anymore.
No, he charged last time I saw him, it's been a little while, but he was charging $1 a book.
Yep.
Which I got no problem with $1 a book. I used to pay Mike Grell a book when he started charging.
Yep.
Of course, Mike Grell's now up to like $10-20 a pop, and he'll tell people, I'm not going to be around forever.
Yep.
You know what's going to be around longer than you, Mike Grell? The 200 or 300 copies I got signed before you started charging.
Well, my whole thing is that you get the ones who are like, yeah, we won't charge. you know, I've talked to artists and they're like, yeah, we will never charge. That's, you know, they're like, you're our fans. You took your time to go get our books. We will never charge.
I've run into a few in the last couple of years. Ron Mars said that.
Mm-hmm.
Said he won't ever charge. Shoot. There was a guy at the last Cincinnati show I went to, said the same thing. He will never charge. I forget who that was. He's not a current, you know, name. He was like from the 2000s, you know, era of artists.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, said he wouldn't charge. To this day that I know of, Linsner does not charge.
Nope. Well,
Now, what Linsner does do, if you annoy the shit out of him while he's at a show, like this girl with the freaking little violin at the last Cincinnati show kept going around his table and he's trying to work, he will get up from his table, he will walk up to you, take that violin and break it in half. Then he'll go sit back down.
well, it could be as bad as what was it? His former partner Joe Monks, who would, if you took him an old Cry for Dawn, he would like black out the teeth and give her black eyes and shit. I was like, talk about petty. That's funny. But then you get people like Kevin Eastman. I remember being set up next to Kevin Eastman at one of the Gem City shows, and you were supposed to only get like 3 things signed at a time. He was signed free, 3 things. But literally, I'm from, you know, one table away from him. Me and him are talking the entire day, and he's just like, "You got any more books?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Sign them, and he handed them back to me, and he sat there and he'd wait on people. "Got any more books?" "Yeah."
I remember when Chris Claremont was in Dayton, and you know, I definitely had at least a long box worth of stuff for him.
Yep.
I didn't get it all signed, but I would keep going back to his table, and he would continue to sign, but he also asked me to look for something out in the room.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I got no problem with that.
Yep.
And I found what he was looking for. He was surprised I found it. I took it back to him. He signed some more books.
Well, I remember I got a book floating around here somewhere, but he looked at that and he goes, can I have that? I'm like, what? He goes, I don't have that printing of that book. And it was his first flight book, his books that he did, you know, just like actual prose novels. His first flight, I think, Grounded. And it was a sci-fi book club exclusive that had both books in there. And he's just looking at that and he's like, "Where did you get this?" I'm like, "Sci-fi book club." And he's like, "Can I have it?" I'm like, "No, it's the only one I've got."
I like it when you take a book up to these guys and, you know, they've never seen that version before.
Oh, one of my favorite ones was early. So this is 91, 92, when we first started going to Motor City. We went up there and I'm getting stuff signed because that was when Jim O'Barr, Tim Vigil, Dave Quinn, was it Guy Davis, Vince Locke, all them guys had done stuff for North Star at one point, and they'd all left because North Star was notorious for not paying people. And so I'm going up there, and they're all in one room, and they're all lined up together. And I walked up to Jim O'Barr, who was first. I want to say it was Jim, because I think it was Jim, Tim, maybe Joe Vigil, maybe Dave Quinn. You know, it was them guys just going further down. And I went there, and he looks at me and goes, "I didn't do nothing in this book." And I went, no, here, you're right here. And he just stares at it, and he goes, and then one of them looked and goes, "Who did the publishing on that?" And I was like, "It's North Star." And he goes, "Oh, they still fucking owe me money." He goes, "They didn't pay me for this shit." He signed the book, and they're laughing. And I go, "I don't know what you're laughing at. You're in this book too." And they were pissed. They were like, and I think like this is before everybody had a cell phone. those guys were like, I'm making some phone calls on Monday because I want my money.
Yeah, that's like going back to Polito. If somebody does artwork for like Lady Death, it is the property of Brian Polito because he owns the right to the character. So these books he sells at the conventions for like $20 or like pinup books.
Yeah.
He puts some of that art in these books. Well, the guys that did the artwork are like, I'm not in there. And I'm like, yeah, here you are right here. I didn't authorize this.
He's notorious for owing people money. That's like I don't know if Liefeld ever finished paying people off, but I know Liefeld used to be bad at that too. I'm hoping he did with that Deadpool money that he's got now. He should be paying people.
You would think.
But what was the God dang. You had that, you sit there and you bring people up books and they'd be like, yeah, I didn't get nothing to do with that book. Yeah, you did.
Well, then there's the people that, they say that, and then you point out to them that, you did this in the back. They forgot that you had something in the book.
Yeah. My favorite one was when John Byrne used to do Mid-Ohio all the time.
Yeah.
And I found like the top 10 books he hated. And he was a dick at back then. And so I went 1 year and I took all 10 of those books to get signed. So this was literally like Wheelie and a Chopper Bunch, like the first like commercial work he did. The Snowblind issue of Alpha Flight. Just weird books that he just hated. And he's sitting there and I handed him the stack. And this is when he did like 10 books. He would sign 10 books. And he signs the first one and he just kind of looks at me and he sets it aside and he signs the next one and he looks at it and he sets it aside and he looks at the next one. He signs that one and then he starts picking up the next one and picking up the next one. And then that's when he just goes, and he just looks at me and he's like, he signed them. But you could just see the just. And to be honest, the only reason I did that is because the year before, I'm sitting in line to get some stuff signed. And this little kid came up and he couldn't have been, he was well younger than Vince. So it's maybe 5, maybe 6, 7 years old, young. And, he's talking to this guy. He's talking to John Byrne. John Byrne asked him what his favorite character is, and the kid said like Spider-Man. So John Byrne drew the Spider-Man. And then he goes to hand it to the kid, and he goes, "That's $25." And the little kid's like, I don't have $25. And John Byrne goes, "Well, you need to go tell your dad to give me $25." And then the guy's like, the dad's like, I don't have an extra $25 to spend. Then they proceed to auction it off in front of the dad and the kid. And I'm like, if I would have had the money, the extra money, because, I was poor back then. And, I went with as much money as I needed to get what I wanted and whatnot. Sometimes I went with just the bare minimum because I just wanted to get stuff signed and left. But I would have bought it and just handed it to him. But literally, there's people bidding on it. And they got it, and the dude won it. He's like, yeah, and he just wandered off. And then I was like, that guy is a dick too, There was a guy.
That's a pet peeve. You go to somebody's table, whether it's getting artwork or your book signed, you hand him the books, say to get signed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the books. Then he turns and gives them back to you. Says that'll be, $20.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think, who was it that did that at the last Gym City show?
I don't know.
Wyatchek. Bob Wyatchek. That's who it was. He had no sign on his table, nothing to say that he was charging.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's done signing, he looks at you like you owe him money.
Well, that's like I'm sitting there in I think it was Buckler in Indy one time. I'm getting stuff signed by everybody. And literally, I'm standing in line, and he signs for the guy in front of me. Doesn't say nothing, doesn't charge him anything. I walk up with like 2 books. And I set them down, and he goes to start signing, and he goes, "You know, I charge $10 a book, right?" And I went, "No, thank you." And I took the books back.
Yeah. Buckler, I've gotten stuff signed by him when he didn't charge.
Oh, I did too.
Then at a Cincinnati show, I handed him some stuff because the year before he signed stuff, and he was like, I'm charging $5 a book now. I'm like, okay, because that's another guy. There's not a single thing Buckler's done that's worth more than a buck.
Deathstroke or Deathlock.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give him that one.
And I think he did some maybe. Well, same way with a couple other guys. They won't put signs out, which I think is dick. I don't care if you sign. And I think if you put a sign up that says, hey, each autograph $5, $1, whatever, you put it out on your table so that when the people go and stand in line, you see it and you're like, oh, okay, well, I don't have that kind of money, whatever. And to be honest, when you're paying $50 just to get in the door now,
yeah,
and then you got to pay for gas and food and parking, you're $100 in the hole just to walk through the door.
Right. But now it's going to be even worse because of the pandemic and, this long shutdown we had. Get back into, people getting back out there, conventions starting back up. Everybody that wasn't really working for, the good 6 to 9 months there that, things were shut down mostly. They need money.
Well, a lot of them have been doing commissions. So they're not broke because they're
not broke, but they're also going to get back into this. Yeah, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to make more than than just sitting here and signing stuff.
Well, what I was told is that some of these guys, because I asked, I was like, man, why is everybody starting to charge for signing? They're like, they don't want to sign. They make all their money at conventions doing commissions.
Yeah,
they would rather, because that's they do commissions. They're making $100. And they can knock out a drawing in 30 minutes.
Well, I've pretty much accepted that my days of getting autographs is done. Not so much, not only because of their charging, and I have limited income, but on top of that, with my legs being the way they are, I can't walk around the conventions anymore.
Well, the only thing I take now is those. I have that Marvel Encyclopedia and that DC Encyclopedia.
Oh yeah, I know what they are.
Yeah, because you've helped me get some of them signed. But literally, I've walked up and guys who normally charge because they know people are just going to run off and try to sell it. No one has ever charged me to sign those.
Well, I think that both books they're not near met. Okay, they've seen a little wear.
Oh yeah, dude, they've been around because they've been in my bag. I don't know how many conventions.
And they look at it and they're like, this is some guy's just getting my autograph along with everybody else that he can get that's in the book.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is when people open up my Marvel one, there's Steranko right in the middle. Because I have that one signed by Steranko. And, yep, she's staring at me.
See, yeah, there she is.
Sophie.
What's up,
Sophie?
It's Paul.
She's like, whatever.
Whatever. Why are you talking to me?
She's like, I want to go to bed, Dad. Shut up.
I'm just trying to get comfortable.
That dog looks really comfortable. But no one has ever charged me to sign those. And I think the last one I took, because I got McNiven.
Yeah.
And he was signing whatever you wanted, as many books as you wanted for free, as long as they were to you. And I got a couple books signed to me.
Yeah.
And then he looked at that one and I was like, just sign that one to me. I don't care. And he just wrote Steve McNiven, didn't sign to Paul in it, but literally I've got like the Marvel one. I think I got like 50 autographs in, and I think the DC I have like 25.
Yeah, Mike McCone started doing that too. He wouldn't charge you if you had it signed to you.
Hmm.
If otherwise, he was starting to charge $5. He did that at the last indie show I went to.
Yeah.
But prior to that, McCone would sign just about anything you put in front of him.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good run. I mean, I've got a lot of signed stuff. Let's see here.
We had a good 30, almost 30-year run.
Yeah. Let me pull this up. In my collection in just a second because it's
Yeah.
thinking.
It's thinking.
It's thinking. I've got 68,000 books. It takes a little bit of thinking.
As we're sitting here wasting time and
Wasting time, yeah.
wasting time and
Watching Mark do his thing. I've got 13,221 signed books. That's 30 years of conventions.
at least 30 years of conventions.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is that I've been slowly trying to get my stuff processed in, bagged, rebagged, reboarded, put in better boxes, and I've been putting it in the computer. Right now, though, the only problem is that where I have them stored at the shop, I can't really get to them very easy anymore. And I still have I've got 13,000 books in the system, and that's just my short boxes. I have another 200 long boxes that I haven't even touched yet to put in there. So
Yeah, you mean in that little room that you can't get into right now?
Nope.
Well, actually, you can get into it from the back side. But
yeah, I can, but the problem is that I got to get them out. I got to get them rebagged and reboarded, but bags and boards are impossible to come by.
Expensive too.
Yeah. So I'm taking my time because I'm like, well, why worry about trying to get it all in there if I just have to take it back out, reboard it, and bag it later. So
I can see the prices going up on bags and boards. Fred doesn't want to do it, but yeah, he's basically still selling them at the same price he was selling them at before the pandemic.
yeah.
I know they're costing more.
Yeah, well, I look for them. I look for all this stuff here shortly when everybody's going, everything starts going back to normal, that stuff to drop back down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just buying enough bags of boards to get by and to bag and board up my current stuff and whatnot, and then I'll deal with the other stuff later.
Yeah.
So
all my stuff's bagged and boarded except for 4 or 5 long boxes worth at the shop.
Yeah.
And I've got enough bags, I think, to cover most of that. I just need the boards.
Yeah, I don't have enough to even start putting a dent in my stuff because I bought years ago I bought these bags and boards because they were like, hey, these are they're like, hey, we'll beat any price, and I'm like, oh, okay, they seem like decent bags and boards. Then years later they all start splitting down the sides. The boards start doing where they're like Xeroxing the back of books, so if you pull it out you've got the burnt image into the board of the back of the comic. So
yeah,
I'm trying to replace all that stuff, and
could be worse. The last time I was getting stuff for conventions, and I was taking them all out of the bags because I got those signature things.
Mm.
And the combo pack, the combo books from DC for the new 52.
Yeah,
those bags are junk. I mean, I'm taking it out. It's practically crumbling in my hands.
well, then you get the ones where you get the bags that are so super tough you can't get the damn things open because once the tape is on them, the tape is on the bag. And some bitch is not coming off there. So you're like trying to pull it, it's just ripping the bag. Like it's not that good a tape. Literally, it's fucking Scotch tape. But I don't know. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, I've been collecting, I don't know, my entire life. I don't remember not collecting. I know that there was a brief time in the early 90s when I was moved out on my own where I decided for about 6 months I was going to stop collecting comics. And then I spent the next 10 years trying to figure out those 6 months worth of books that came up, so.
I remember you remember back in what 2000 late 2007 I stopped getting books from Fred.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for about a year and a half to 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still books from that time span I don't have.
It took me, well, the only book that I was still getting, because I never completely stopped because I've collected X-Men since I was a little kid. I never stopped collecting X-Men. So it was the only book I got for like 6 months. And then I was like, man, I want to go back to reading comics. So then I had to go back and find all like the Fantastic Four, the probably Star Wars comics that were coming out at that time, all that shit that I missed during that 6 months. And you don't think 6 months is long until you realize how hard it is to get books in that little narrow spot of time.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like obscure books that, had low print runs and shit like that. So,
yeah.
So, I don't know. I think we're about done for tonight there, Mark.
Yeah.
It's closing in on, we got about 11:45.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be going to bed here soon. I got to get up at 8:45 in the morning to take Yanni to work.
I get up like 8:45. But I don't go to bed till I'll probably go to bed about 2, but I got more shit I got to finish up before I go to bed.
I'll be honest, I will come back home and go right back to bed.
I can't do that. If I've gotten up, there very rarely, like when they were working on the furnace at the shop and I had to be there at 7 to make sure, to let them in the building, I'd come home and I would lay in bed and like, I'm gonna go back to sleep. And I would just lay there and I'd be like, nope. I'd get up and I'd be wide awake. But then there was like the one day I came home, I'm like, I'm going to bed. I was like, I was out cold, man.
I'm at this point that if I'm at home, I'd take a nap, man. I took a 3-hour nap earlier. Granted, I did shit to make me wear myself out.
Well, we went to the gym.
Well, I not only did that, I cleaned up in the house. I went outside. I was on hands and knees moving bricks. And my recycle bin that was full of basically compost mulch.
Yep.
Yeah, it was full. And I had to dump that thing and turn it upside down. Nobody to help me.
Well, see, I don't live a block away from you no more.
That's true. But for someone with my health conditions and my age, that takes a lot out of me.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, 346 pounds. I weighed myself earlier.
Dude, you were 2 of me, almost.
Yes.
I'm well, yeah, because I'm 185.
I'm just less than 2 of you.
Yeah. That would, if you were 370. So,
But I did all that, and then I sat in my spa tub. That just made me hot, which was the point of it because I like that. And then after I'm cooling down, I just fall asleep. I woke up and I asked Johnny, how long was I asleep? About 3 hours. Oh, okay.
It's not a nap. That's actual sleep. That's not a nap at that point. Nap is 20 minutes to an hour. Anything over an hour is just sleep. So, dude, I used to sleep 3 hours a night and get up and go to work the next day. That was garbage. I didn't sleep at all for any time at all.
I can do that, 3 to 5 hours of sleep, get up, go do what I have to do because it's what I have to do.
Yeah.
A lot of young kids these days, they don't get that. They think that, I'm not getting enough sleep, I'm just going to call off.
Mm-hmm. Dude, if I got 2 hours of sleep, I got up and got to work the next day, down an energy drink, start working my day, get going, get woke up, lunchtime, another energy drink, keep it going for the rest of the day, go home, try to mellow out. And then if not, I still pop another energy drink when I got home. So then you're wired till the end of the day. And then hopefully you can go to sleep to try to get some sleep the next night. So, well, it's like, I don't know how many times we did conventions on Saturday or Sunday when I was working third shift. I'd literally get off work, go home, shower, get in the car, and then we would do a show. We'd do the show all day. I would drive home. I would take a nap for about 2 hours, and I'd get up and be up all night again.
Yeah. That reminds me of back when I worked for Troll and Unicorn before I even met you.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to the conventions with him.
Yeah.
We're not talking local. I mean, he always went to New York and shit like that. And that's a 12-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
And we would basically, I would drive all night because, you know, John Houston doesn't drive unless he absolutely has to. And we'd get to New York in the morning and have to set up for the show. You know, so, yeah, I'm 24 hours awake before I get to get any sleep. But that was back in the late 80s. I was a young guy back then.
I did this up until relatively recently. And I have to tell you what, man, there's days I'd come home and be like, I'd be out finally, sleep. Yeah. And then I'd be wide awake because I was working third shift at the time. I'd sleep, you know, we'd get home about 5, 6 o'clock. I'd sleep from 6 o'clock till like 10 o'clock at night. And then I'd be up the rest of the night till 7, 8 o'clock the next morning. And then I would go back to sleep or I'd go to work. So, and then I'd get up and go to work because I'd get up at 10 o'clock and I'd be at work at 11.
Yeah.
So I hated doing that. That's why I'm glad I don't have to do that shit no more.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to call it a night. What?
I don't have to do that shit no more either.
You don't have to do nothing no more, technically. Except for show up Thursday and work at the shop.
What kind of work?
Okay. You sit behind a counter and occasionally price cards and you put numbers into a computer. You have people go get shit for you so they don't have to. You don't have to.
Well, yeah, if they want to go through the cards, I'm like, okay, come around and go help yourself. Studebaker is a big one on that one, and he'll bring me a bunch of stuff he wants me to check the price on.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I do that because I'm trying to get like the diamond stuff done and this, that, and the other.
Well, see, I hate working on that stuff. So having you do that is what I technically pay you for.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really pay you, but I pay.
But, yeah, that, and, you know, walking with a cane back and forth, going to get boxes, that's tiring.
Yep.
So.
I mean, it's tiring when I have to do it by myself when I'm sitting there trying to do you know, price cards or trying to put stuff out, price books, price toys, whatever, and I'm trying to stock shelves and stuff. And then you have people, hey, can I have the Zendikar Rising box? Can I have the Ravnica Return to Ravnica box? Can I get that? You know, but I don't know. It is what it is at this point. It's common is uncommon, so
pretty much.
Occasionally make money off of it. So, all right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go. We're gonna wrap this episode up. So, I'm Paul. That's Mark. We're not licensed therapists. And we're out of here. Good night.
Thank you, Lucky Stars, for that.
Yep. We'll talk to you later, Mark.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.